the dad, the dad was standing there incognito with yo, with the yo. You know which one we're talking about. He was standing there with the fair use. Shout out to Lawyers for Workers.
I'm traumatized from reading the allegation. I'm not shitting you guys. I'm legitimately traumatized from reading the allegations in the latest lawsuit filed Monday, October 28th, 2024, against my childhood icon, Puff Daddy, the hip-hop billionaire. This claim alleges that a 10-year-old kid, his parents go and they hire some consultant. This was filed today. The parents hire a consultant to go make their kid a star, and they decide they're going to go to New York City and meet with celebrities and other people in the talent and music business.
I want to say something before we continue. Please, people, stop trying to make your kids stars. Stop it, because this is getting out of hand. You're putting the kid in compromising situations. This is not the first time we've heard about these stories. By the way, I'm not saying that this story is true, but we've heard about this Nickelodeon stories. People getting touched in this, well, some of these studios. It's crazy. Stop trying to make your kids stars, because they are entering an adult world where you have these weird people walking around and they try to take advantage of anyone who has a disadvantage at this moment, whether it's a guy, woman, or sometimes when you have these sickos out here, kids. Let's continue.
And the consultant sets up this meeting. They meet at one point with Diddy, and the consultant takes a 10-year-old kid and drops him off in a room alone with Diddy. It is alleged by the Busby law firm, a very reputable law firm, upon information and belief that this 10-year-old was drugged and then raped. Sexual assault. And then, yeah, I'm traumatized. I can't even do the video. And then this happened, let me go back here. This happened way back in 2005. And that the parents never did anything about it because they were scared of what might happen, even though it was clear when the kid came back. Allegations.
On Monday's show, I said that if your wife gets violated, you might have to crash out in court. Do you think if your kid gets violated, you won't crash out on the man who did it? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Some people, I don't know. This is a crazy story, man. RJ.
We said it from the beginning, when everything started, that we can expect a bunch of other lawsuits, some more believable than the other. Some that can cause so much damage, whether it's true or not. Damage to the reputation and so on and so forth. But it's clear that everyone is, at least that no one is Diddy anymore. Because they think it's safe, at least they believe it's safe, apparently, to just come out and express themselves. The freedom of speech, if you will.
Yeah.
And everyone who is defending him runs the risk of going down. Well, let me not phrase it like that. Being taken down with him, at least on a reputational level. saying you miss Diddy parties, for example, is not a good thing to say. And you should have a bit more awareness of the times that we're living in.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I remember, I never forget this story, right? It's like the story of Gary Plosh, I think his name. I don't know how you pronounce it. Probably I've seen this video before, RJ, of the dad who was, I think his son was touched by a karate instructor or something like that, and they caught him. They caught him. It's like this, isn't it? Like in the 70s or something, or the 80s. They caught him and they were transporting him from the place that they caught him to the state that he was going to get the trial. And the dad was standing there incognito with the you know which one we're talking about. He was standing there with the telephone, the old school telephone,
On a payphone.
payphone, the payphone, the old school payphone. When he saw them walking by, the man pulled out the bike and put one in the temple, man. And the cops knew right away it was the dad. He said, "Gary, why? Why?" It's what I mean. When people really get touched, the dads usually crash out.
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing that happened with the dad and the kid, of course. But yeah, I have it sometimes very, and again, I'm not gonna say everyone will crash out, because not everyone has that in situations like that, when you crash out, when you know you're gonna crash out, is because you feel that you couldn't help your kid. Not everyone has that feeling, and then that's how you try to get retribution for your inability to protect your son and also protect others. But hey, man, that this is a crazy story. Imagine your kid tell you this and then you don't confront Diddy ever again. Comes home, tells you the story, and then your parents do nothing, and 30 years later you're suing Diddy. What kind of crazy stuff is this?
Well, this might sound weird, but I know parents who, in situations like that, do not crash out. They're either afraid to, because remember, KR, a predator knows who to prey on.
That is we talked about that's how we started. They know how to prey on, yeah.
Maybe they see you as a weak person as well, or a desperate person.
Mm-hmm. That is true. That is true.
So yeah, that's the way I see it.
Bet between the both eyebrows, man. That's how you end the story.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this situation. It's getting dark, man. These stories are getting darker and darker, and you can't even laugh about it, because if this is true, that means that Diddy is a horrible person who also not only organizes these freak offs with people that are of age, but he also tries to prey on minors. Crazy if this is true. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you agree on the fact that these stories are getting crazy? Do you think that Diddy actually did these things, or are people trying to have a money grab situation? Would you crash out for your kid if they find themselves in these situations, or will you try to do a different route? Not advocating for crashing out, because of course there are a lot of consequences to that. But you have to protect your family at all times. That's the first thing you have to do as a man. That's patriarchy for you folks. What? That is true. Well, you're laughing. But that's patriarchy. A lot of people talk bad about patriarchy, but they forget the most important part why there is a patriarchy. Because the pater des familias protects the whole family, the wife and the kids.
Yeah. Peace is not something that we have the right to. Peace is something you have to fight for.
Yeah.
Same goes for freedom. You fight for freedom.